Shalom Uvracha. Parashas Matot brings us to the verge of entry into the promised land, the land of Canaan, Eretz Israel. Parashas Matot includes the war against Midian. It includes the allocation of the land, or the beginning of its allocation, with Bnei Gad and Bnei Reuven, meaning we're on the verge of entry. But before we get there, there's one last mitzvah that the Torah presents, and that is the mitzvah of Nedarim, of vows, making personal vows that we make to Hashem. And the question is why? Why did the Torah need to wait until the verge of entry into the Holy Land to give us this mitzvah? We've had many opportunities in Mishpatim and in Vayikra, many parashiyos, that the Torah could have mentioned this mitzvah. Why wait till now? I think the answer is that Nedarim provides a bridge between life in the wilderness, in the desert, and life in Eretz Israel. The idea of Nedarim is to bring ourselves. We're able to create new mitzvot, as it were, a new mitzvah. We receive the mitzvahs from Hashem, but in Nedarim we can create a new one, whether with our speech or even with our actions. If I accept upon myself to do something good, something positive, whether it's personally or, as the Chasam Sofer explains, nationally or communally, that constitutes a neder, meaning I'm able to join myself onto the edifice of the mitzvot that Hashem gives us, and to become a true partner in fulfilling, in realizing the great vision of the Torah. And that's a bridge between life in the wilderness and life in Eretz Israel, because life in the wilderness was very much top down. Everything was given to us by Hashem through Moshe Rabbeinu. Our physical existence, with the manna that we ate, with the well of Miriam, the water we drank, with the clouds of glory that cleared the path for us, and so on. And our spiritual existence, that was all from Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe at Har Sinai, and later on continuing the revelation of Sinai, everything was top down. That's not life in the promised land. Over there, everything is up to us. We have to fend for ourselves on the physical level. We have to plow and sow and harvest, and also spiritually. We need Nedarim. We have to know how to realize the Torah from ourselves. It won't be given to us by Moshe Rabbeinu. We'll have to find the ways, personally, communally, and nationally. And that's why the idea of Nedarim, the idea of bringing this novelty, something new, this new commitment that we find within ourselves, that's the bridge. That's how we enter Eretz Israel. And this is also very much related to the leadership model. The leadership in the wilderness was Moshe Rabbeinu's leadership. And Chazal say Moshe Rabbeinu was kipnei chama, like the sun. In the light of the sun, there are no other lights. There are no stars during the day. But Yehoshua's leadership was a leadership of the moon. And even when the moon is out, you can see myriad stars. You can see other lights. In the leadership of Yehoshua coming into the land, it leaves space for others to innovate, to initiate, to bring themselves to do wonderful things for Torah in so many ways. And this is so true of today, because even though, of course, during our long exile, we had to initiate, we had to innovate, but the level of initiation, the level of innovation would not be or could not be the same as the level of innovation and initiation today, when we have sovereignty, when we have relative independence, and we're able to bring ourselves in new ways that were hitherto impossible. And therefore today, this mitzvah of Nedarim that was given on the verge of entry into the Holy Land becomes so relevant, not necessarily on the technical level of accepting vows upon ourselves, but on the deeper substantive level, on the value level of bringing ourselves, of being true partners with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, with Hashem. He gives us the Torah, but we find the new ways in which to realize it in the circumstances, the remarkable circumstances in which we are, in which we find ourselves today. And that's the partnership. We bring ourselves together with the Torah that Hashem gives us, that brings us to our final destiny, to the place where we need to get to. We should get there. B'mheira v'yameinu. Amen. We should have a wonderful Shabbos.